Hello everyone, and like I said, my name is Sanjeev Yajnik, but today is about you, and I want to start by doing just a couple of things, and then I've got a very short message for you. But you know, there's a lot to celebrate today. We've got superstars sitting all around this room, and I know you've done a lot of introductions and recognitions, but I want to do a few of my own. So I want to tell you, I've got to want you to recognize one of my personal heroes, J.D. Hoy. Please stand up. Stand up. President and CEO of NAF. Unbelievable leader, passionate leader, wants to do the right thing, forward-leaning, taking us into the future. And I also want to recognize some folks that you've already recognized, which is the Teachers of the Year, because I was not here. So in some ways, this is my own recognition, the Jane Litton Award. So Patricia Gregory, are you here? Stand up. Where's Patricia? Just point out where she is. Patricia. Eric Grooms. And Brandon Frame. And I also, it would be hard for me not to recognize the Teacher of the Year for last year, right from our own hometown in Dallas. Mary White, are you here? Where's Mary? Look, I have a very simple message for all of you, and one that you've probably heard in different ways. But I just want to put it absolutely clearly to you from the way I see it. I grew up in Calcutta, and you know, in a kind of a lower middle class family, and I know how much education has changed my life. And I'm here to tell you from my vantage point, running one of Capital One's divisions, meeting up with people across the world, we are on the cusp of an unbelievable revolution that is taking place, led by things like artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc. And if anyone thinks this is a tech thing, or it's an IT thing, or it's an engineering thing, what I'm here to tell you is this thing that we are going to be going through, this revolution that we are going to be going through, is going to touch every single person's lives. No matter what the profession is, no matter what the background is, it's going to touch every one of your lives, your students' lives, no matter which stream of work they go into. And at this point of the revolution, you know, years after a revolution takes place, people turn around and say, you know what, that revolution was great because it really helped a lot of people. Think the first industrial revolution. It took humankind forward by a big step. But for the people who were actually going through the revolution, sometimes it's not that much fun. Because there's a lot of dislocation that is happening. There's a lot of people that are doing well, not doing well, up and down. And this revolution that we are standing at the edge of, and this is not the digital revolution, that happened. So I know there are educators in the room, but everyone will remember the 4 revolutions. We are standing on the 4th. The first one was the first industrial revolution, led by steam engines, coal, cast iron. Second industrial revolution, led by electricity, steel. The third one actually started in the 1950s, which is the silicon and the digital revolution. The fourth one that is just starting, it started maybe in 2015, it's very recent, is the artificial intelligence revolution. It is machine learning. It is the way of using analytics to transform every single aspect of our lives. And as a result, the amount of value that one would get from being college and career ready has simply exponentially grown even over the last couple of years. And I really want people to think about this because, you know, if you think about a person standing right before the first industrial revolution, and they would be saying, yeah, I've heard about something called steam and this coal thing and, you know, this iron and all this stuff. I don't think it is. It's a long time coming and we keep doing our thing right now. You don't realize how much it would change lives, but it changed everyone's lives. This revolution is moving so fast, is going to impact us within our lifetimes. In the next decade, you're going to see like massive amounts of change that are going to happen. And so the premium on being college and career ready has suddenly sprung up to an amazing amount. And there are going to be, you know, it creates a profound opportunity and a profound challenge. The profound opportunity, the profound challenge being that as a country, the United States, the only thing that we have to turn back to that is going to help us turbocharge our country to the next step is our talent. And when I say our talent, is not the top 1% of our talent, top 1% being the 1% that is getting educated somewhere, or the 2 or the 3. We need 100% of our talent, of our talented people getting through and being educated and getting every opportunity and stepping forward and creating the industries of the future and making our country all that it can be through this transformation. And we cannot get there without each and every one of you sitting in this room. We cannot. And I don't believe we can get there without businesses getting involved to help you to do the job that you need to do. You're doing one of the most important jobs, I believe, in the history of my lifetime. I mean, there's a lot that education has done for people over the last, 40, 50 years. But now the value of that education is like exponentially bigger and much more impactful than it's ever been because of where we stand today. And we need your talent, but we need the talent of businesses. And again, just, step back and think about, people are generally busy, you would agree. Generally, people are really busy. All of you are really busy. What about people who are running big corporations? Are they busy? CEOs and, running big corporations, they're pretty busy. They've got lots of things to do, correct? Now, let's have a bit of a look at who are the people who are so involved in NAF. Who are the people who are giving their time to NAF? Do folks here know who some of the board members are of NAF? You're familiar with the board members of NAF? Some nodding heads, some not. So let me just, again, the only reason I want to do a little bit of this is I want you to understand how important it is to leaders who are just not saying it for the sake of saying it. It's because we can see what is coming and what other countries are doing and all this and where we need to go. So some of the board members at NAF, you met Sandy Weil, right? Sandy Weil created NAF. He is an unbelievable leader, right? Do people know Ken Chenault? He is the chairman and CEO of American Express. You think he's a little busy? But he is fully vested. Okay, Gene Ludwig. He's the founder and CEO of Promontory Financial Group. Okay. I have no idea how they let me in. And they've actually made me treasurer, but I've kind of slipped in there. Jeffrey Brill, partner of Skadden, Arps, Slate and Meagher. He's Okay, Ursula Burns, Chairman of Xerox Corporation. Lynn Doty, Chairman and CEO of KPMG. Robert Doogie, Executive Chairman, U.S. Retirement Partners. I mean, I can keep going down this list. Alex Gorski, Chairman and CEO of Johnson & Johnson. You think he's a little busy? You know, and Capital One is completely 100% in this thing. And we're not in it just for the sake of being in something. There are many things to get busy with. But this is such an important issue that I've put on the table that we all want to get involved with Sandy and with JD to make this a priority for our companies and to really turbocharge us ahead. You know, as Capital One, one of the things we did was recognizing this thing that is coming on us. We created something called Future Edge, and we dedicated $150 million over 5 years. We had announced this in 2015. And right now, we work hand in hand with NAF. I'm the treasurer, but I work closely with JD and with Sandy and with the board. But we are dedicated to helping all of you help this country win by doing what you do and doing it really well, and by businesses getting involved and giving internships. You probably heard Sandy and Robert talk about the value of internships. We do a ton of it in Capital One. This young man you just saw came through one of the Future Ready labs. But it is incredibly important for all of you and all of us to get together, and together we can conquer this thing and we can conquer the world. We can really make a big difference. So the last thing I want to say is that, you know, for the students going through NAF, so they get the academics and they get the business thing coming together. They get internships, that is really important. They see how the real world works. They can go and take it back into their classrooms. And then we get them NAF track certified. So when they get certified means they've done the internships, they've gone through their classroom material, they get a particular certification from NAFTRAC. And once they get the certification, what it does is it gives them an entry into the recruiting process in companies. You know, people are standing in line. You know how many people send resumes out there? But for the companies that agree, they go right to the front of the line and they get access so that they can get the opportunities. Is that great? So JD, what I'd like to tell you is that Capital One and I are all in. We're going to make it happen together. Folks, together we can do anything. Thank you so much.